Hopefully a podcast about the movie will be more interesting than the movie itself. This is Saw on Stinker Madness.
What's that smell?
I don't know about you, but I'm thirsty as fuck. Thirsty as fuck.
Hey, look at me!
Thrill me.
If you come back in here, I'm gonna hit you with so many rights, you're gonna beg for a left.
Thrill me.
Beg for a left.
Thrill me.
Hey, look at me!
No more hangers!
It stinks.
Hangers!
Get to the chopper! Stinker Madness.
Hello, welcome to Stinker Madness. This is the podcast about bad movies for bad movie lovers by bad movie lovers. I'm your host, Justin. With me, as always, are Sam and Jackie. Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Anything can happen on Halloween.
All right, well, that was a little jumping ahead. Yeah, it's Spooktober.
Spooky.
Yeah.
Very. I'm sorry, I fell asleep.
What?
Okay,
What was that?
what?
Oh, God.
Sam
Yeah,
was
yeah.
so scared that he shit his pants.
No, he shit his pants because he fell asleep and lost control of his bowels because he was so unconscious because this movie is so boring.
It's like taking 12 Valiums at once.
Yeah. This is a great way to end it all, man. Like, if you've just had enough, instead of ODing on Valium, you just watch Saw. Like you buy 60 TVs and you just loop it over and over again, so you're just surrounded by Saw. And then you get those things that are like from Clockwork Orange to staple your eyeballs open. And then you stop killing people, except for yourself because you hate your life.
You'd probably just poop.
Yeah, just poop. I'm sorry, why?
I don't know.
Because you're a medical doctor and you know how Saw affects people.
I just don't think that even 16 saws at once could even kill you. Because that would be like, that means that it does something.
Yeah.
And I don't think it can do something.
Okay, all right. Before we get too deep in this, we do have something to address.
Oh.
This is our 300th episode.
Oh, fuck. You should have told me that before I fucking picked Saw. What the fuck? Oh, God, that makes me feel bad.
Yeah,
I feel bad.
Let's not make too big of a fuss about it because of Saw.
Saw 300. Oof.
But congratulations to you guys and to myself.
Yes, that's great news, other than the fact that I picked Saw. Whatever.
Jackie, 300 episodes. Do you have any thing you want to reflect on with that?
Oh my God, I've just gotten more awesome with the years. I mean, I really think that when I first started out on this podcast, I was just, I'm going to have to pull these two assholes along for a couple of years.
You're going to have to put this team on your back.
Yeah.
On the back.
And then, it kind of worked out.
For
me. I mean, I'm just so popular and everybody loves me. I mean, my popularity is growing with every podcast we do. So, thanks guys for being backup. What?
You're welcome. We've got an email.
Sure.
We're gonna do things a little differently this episode. We're
Because
gonna read some listener feedback.
And we're going to try to avoid talking about Saw.
Correct.
As much as possible.
Yeah, I got to fill up that time somehow.
Yeah, much like the movie did. I want to first preface this email, some listener feedback, with by plugging our Patreon page, patreon.com/Stinker Madness, if you want to contribute and become a patron, because one of the things you get to do if you support the show is you get priority feedback. Like, we'll read your email, period, and make you at the top of the list. For instance, this email from good listener and fan Jack Breeding, who says, I've got 3 things to talk about, so I'll keep them brief. First, I have a theory behind the wizard in the belly of the beast, our last week's episode.
Oh, excellent.
Starring now, Hollywood women are coming out and saying, oh, yeah. For instance, what's her name? The farty lady that was on Playboy.
Farty lady.
Jenny McCarthy.
Sure.
She is now saying that on multiple occasions, Steven Seagal sexually assaulted her. So he's in there with Harvey Weinstein, as we said on our show, based off of our inside knowledge of his behavior with Avi Lerner.
He had to pay someone to make a human trafficking accusation go away.
Correct.
You don't do that.
Yeah.
If you don't if you're not, oh, he's a bad guy.
No, Steven Seagal's a piece of shit. So, anyways, Belly of the Beast. On the IMDb page for this movie, Steven Seagal has writing credit for the story. Uncredited in the movie. This movie came out just a few years after the first Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter movies, both of which came pretty close to grossing $1 billion each. Both also prominently feature wizards.
Yeah.
Is it possible that Steven Seagal thought that he could put a wizard in the story to ape off of that success and make a smash hit just because it had a wizard in it? I like to imagine that he had an argument with the writer and gave an ultimatum that either he include the wizard or he get fired.
I think that he's hit the nail on the head.
Yeah.
This is not just plausible, but probable. I'm thinking the chances of what he just how he figured that out. I think I'm going to say 95 to 97% chance that that's what happened with the wizard.
Jackie, if that's the case, which we'll assume it is, because that's how we do things on the internet. Did it work?
No.
Okay, all right.
This was just, and he wasn't even a cool wizard, like, at least with Harry Potter wizards, and what was the other one that came out? Anyway, Harry Potter.
Lord of the Rings. Yeah,
Lord of the-
fucking Gandalf.
Oh, yeah,
Favorite
Lord of the
fighting
Rings.
franchise of all time.
I forgot what other one you said.
Never forget Gandalf.
The Saw movie made me stupid. I really do think that he missed the mark there. There was nothing magical about that wizard. He was just kind of a grody, old, homeless looking dude.
And I can imagine the conversation going, you need to put wizards in here, you're fired. But then he has to get defeated by monks because wizards are bullshit.
And then everybody goes to the blood bank.
Yeah. Blood bank.
On with Jack's email. Second, I feel it's appropriate to discuss the new Saw movie, because we prefaced Saw was going to be the movie last week. I didn't know that this existed, so this is not good news. Second, I feel it's appropriate to discuss the new Saw movie, Jigsaw. I went to see it, Jigsaw, but the
movie?
Stephen King,
Yeah.
a few weeks ago, and saw the trailer for Jigsaw. He posted a link to the YouTube trailer. And all I could think about was the song. What's up with that song in the trailer for a horror movie and the lack of torture porn? So if you haven't seen that trailer, which none of us have.
I have.
Oh, you have? Okay.
Yeah.
For Jigsaw.
I didn't know I don't know what he's talking about with the song, though.
Okay.
One of the other reasons why I picked Saw was, one, I hate it, and two, they're reviving it. They're at least not rebooting, they're reviving.
Okay.
So it's a direct sequel, which then means that Jigsaw has had an inoperable tumor for 27 years, and he's still out there kicking. Maybe he should appreciate life, that son of a bitch.
Well, I want to know what the song is.
Yeah. Well, I'll put the link up on YouTube and or put the link up on our website and in the show notes, and people can check it out. Lastly, since this is a big milestone episode, I thought I'd ask each of you what your favorite and least favorite movie that you've done on the podcast is. Here's to 300 more. Jack.
I think we unanimously have Mortal Kombat Annihilation is the worst movie.
This one's close. But
Yeah,
I
it's
still
not
think
near
it's
as
Mortal
bad.
Kombat
Oh,
Annihilation.
this isn't as bad as Mortal Kombat
No, I don't think it
Annihilation.
is. Jackie?
What was that fucking space movie that I hated?
Jason X.
Yes, that one is the
Oh,
worst one we've done.
So far superior to most of the movies we've done.
Yeah, actually, I like Jason X.
And
Enough that I own it on DVD.
my favorite was Beastmaster.
Beastmaster is pretty fucking
Yes.
fantastic. I'm going to stick by my year in review pick and go with Commando. I had a blast with Commando, especially a blast because we had Jeff from the now defunct How Did This Get Made podcast on. Hilarious episode, by far my favorite.
I think my favorite episode is going to be the American Ninja with Joe Fulgham.
Yeah, that was a good episode too.
And Joe found some things in the movies that I didn't know. Like, I actually liked American Ninja more, and I liked it a lot to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
But when we got done with that episode, I was like, man, American Ninja is hot shit.
Yes, indeed. All three good picks. I love every single one of those movies are fantastic, and they were all fantastic episodes, all featuring a guest.
Huh.
Ooh.
Oh, man.
Maybe it's not us.
Wow.
Ooh. Here's to 300 more with guests. We're gonna get guests in every one of those episodes. So because I guess that's the key. So Saw. Let's get to the bad stuff.
A nasty business.
What movie or what year is this, Sam?
I thought this was like 90s. That's my guess.
2004.
2004. Way off. Mid 2000s. completely not the 90s.
I was thinking 1998. I'm not that far off.
6 years is quite a ways off. Starring Cary Elwes,
Cary Elwes, Danny Glover.
Dina Meyer briefly.
Dina Meyer
what the fuck are you doing in this for
briefly.
saying 2 lines, Dina Meyer? You're better than this, barely.
There are a lot of people that I recognized in this movie.
2 guys from Lost. The main Ben, I believe was his name in Lost, is the fake Jigsaw. And the Danny Glover's partner was one of the secret company guys, I think, in Lost. So that was kind of a weird connection. But because Lost was out at this point. It was like the director was just like, hey, get some guys from Lost. Everybody fucking loves that show. Because it's not related to what's his nuts bad robot guy, is it? In
Nope,
any way?
not in any way.
Yeah, all right. Directed by James Wan, though.
James Wan, yeah. This is, and the story was from Lee Wennell, and who plays Adam in the movie.
Oh,
Yes.
oh,
Yeah, they came up with the idea.
wow.
This thing only cost $1.2 million.
Yeah, I can see
So
that.
that's the one thing we're gonna have to hand. We're gonna have to give it one thing.
Mhm.
It didn't cost hardly anything. I think they did pretty good for $1.2 million.
What did they do?
They spent a lot of money on that puppet.
No. What
can
did
ride
they
a bicycle.
do? I'm not asking what they did with the money. What did they make in return?
They made a film that made $103 million.
God damn it.
$103 million.
In domestic.
Yes.
And before DVD, because this is still in peak DVD sales time.
Yeah, this thing made all
None
the
monies.
cash.
Probably didn't have to market it at all because
No, this
the
thing hit-
teenagers will eat that shit up and tell all their friends they got to go see it, but they don't actually see it. They just go in the back of the theater and make out and be like, hey, you want to see a scary movie?
This hit, yeah, word of mouth,
Mm-hmm.
huge. In fact, I was living with a roommate at the time whose girlfriend was like, we have to watch this. And I hated it every second
Sure.
of watching that.
Can't blame you.
It was like, I'm a third wheel and I'm watching something I hate. Fantastic.
You guys are just making out in the back of the theater.
Oh, no, it was in the living room.
Oh,
so,
great. You're just
yeah.
in the back of the living room.
You're both almost 30. God damn it.
All right. What else do you have on Saw, Sam?
Just that this is sort of at the front end of both the Splat Pack director bunch, and also that it helps revitalize rated R horror movies. So
It does.
again, we're gonna hand this thing a few things, give it a few merit badges, but I hated every second of it.
Sure. I'm going to save some thoughts on that until the end.
Okay.
But it did do a lot for a genre, a subgenre, and a sub-style of filmmaking within that genre. I just don't know if it was a good thing that it did.
No.
If it contributed to art in the way of good.
I'll say it right now. I'm going to just jump on top of this. This film is primarily made in post-production.
Oh, absolutely.
They had a 30-minute short subject. The idea behind this is, I would say, ideally about a 15-minute short subject.
Mm-hmm.
You could do a really good 15-minute short subject with this idea, but then when they tried to connect all the characters, what you have is a fucking mess where you really are paying actors as much as anybody for this. And you just have B units going crazy, just shooting all this shit, and then you can just assemble it into a movie after the fact.
And show the same film footage over and over and over again. Hey, remember when this happened earlier? Like, yeah, we just talked about it 5 fucking seconds ago. You're just filling time with your previously established footage.
Yeah, there's like 30 minutes worth of script here, and the other 60 was added after the movie was shot.
Yeah. Cary Elwes, we're going to address him now. He stinks.
Yep.
He is awful in this film, and I do not know how he didn't win a Razzie, or at least get nominated for one.
Well, you know what was weird is that in some shots he looked super fat.
Yeah, right.
And then in other shots he looked trim again.
Yeah, I don't think the haircut helped.
No.
I think that they had to do significant amounts of callbacks. Because really the one sequence, I mean, that's the thing, is that you watch this thing, it is a confinement film.
Correct.
The real story happens in this one room.
Correct.
You could reassemble that room very easily and do callbacks. They may have shot the front and back in that sequence. They screwed up some stuff and they had to do it twice maybe.
Yeah.
And still kept a lean budget because all of the other shit, the art department. I mean, keyboards without monitors, monitors without keyboards, curtains as walls. It isn't something
Strange,
you notice.
nonsensical art on the walls as well that
Yeah.
would not be in a family's home.
Somebody's butt in a thong.
That's what it seemed like, yeah.
There's just shit thrown in front of a camera.
And like Cary Elwes' character is like a rich brain surgeon type guy. He's a surgeon. I don't know if he's a brain surgeon. I think he's a brain surgeon, which is pretty much the richest of the doctors, except for maybe the guys that do fake boobies. I don't know.
I think plastic surgery, yeah, probably.
Okay. He's got money.
Cash.
He's got big time money.
Mhm.
And his house is decorated as if his grandmother did it for him.
One wall is just a big curtain.
Yeah.
Well,
and
not to mention, if you
crochet work on the walls and shit like that.
If you have that much money, right, you're gonna pay for an alarm system. That shit would have never gone down.
All right, that's about the plot, but the set design within this film is slapped together completely. It's throwing shit at a wall. Nobody's gonna notice that there's a fucking floral pattern chair inside this guy's house. This isn't a doctor's house.
I really like the wall clock that he had. The giant wall clock.
Oh, I missed that.
Yeah,
I
like
didn't see- Oh, yeah, no, he had a really ornate clock. I remember that.
yeah, and you could see all the gears and everything. It was really neat.
Sure.
That was like the coolest part of his house. But his bedroom looked like something off of a 1970s porn
Uh-huh.
movie, like
Yeah, it did.
vampire porn.
Yeah.
If you really look at the daughter's room, too, I mean, it's all children's furniture, but none of it really matches. There's no theme in there. It's like real people don't live or work in any of the areas that this movie shoots, other than the one scene, which they did a good job putting together. And all they did there is icky.
Right.
They made the ickiest room ever.
Correct. So he stinks. Danny Glover is just Danny Glover, who stinks.
I think Danny Glover does worse.
Really? He's not on screen as much, and some of it's ADR, which is pretty bad.
Well, I think Danny Glover lives in ADR. He's a whisperer. You can't do
Yeah.
him without.
Right.
He's ADR in every movie.
I love him.
Yeah.
He's the greatest.
This is. Do you think? This is just a question I just came up with now, so I'm gonna spend it.
Mhm.
Is this what Murtaugh would be without Riggs all the time?
Let's envision that like the toilet explosion goes a little bit different.
Yeah.
It melts off half of Riggs's face, and he goes insane, and he wakes up in the hospital, and his hot blonde girlfriend is killed by the Germans. He's like, I'm gonna fucking kill him, and he rolls over, and there's the Joker, and so he loses his mind, and Murtaugh ends up having to take Riggs down. Like, to save all the lives. He becomes Batman. So he has to shoot his best friend to save a bunch of lives. And then instead of the toilet exploding and they get their lives saved, Murtaugh's family gets exploded. And so Murtaugh has nothing left but Jigsaw.
So in the scene,
He's a broken man.
just like him going, "Oh, this is it. This is the day," and then everything but the toilet blows up, and then he poops.
Right.
And then he has to. No, so that's not anywhere where I was going. Like, instead, you have Riggs getting assigned to somebody else.
Oh.
And then Murtaugh's
a little
unable
more.
to retire because he works out that his 401k isn't strong enough yet.
Okay. Not so interesting as my
And
idea.
then
but,
is just this lousy fucking cop. Because he is a lousy fucking
he's
cop
a bad
in this
cop
movie.
in this movie.
The worst fucking cop ever.
Not a good cop. Yeah, but he gets fired too, doesn't he? Or he just
you
leaves
know,
the force because he's
I
getting
would-
too old for this shit.
I think he gets fired, but whenever he got fired was however many years he worked there too late.
Yeah,
Like-
you're 78, man.
Or like how long have you been on the force? 38 years. Too long.
Yeah, too long.
38 years too long because you're the shittiest cop ever.
All right, you guys ready to get into this?
Yeah, why not?
Yes.
Oh boy, I had to force that out of you.
Yes.
All right, so there's essentially two characters in this film for the most part. Well, three. There's Adam, and there's Lawrence, the doctor, and then there's this Jigsaw, quote unquote. But-
And the puppet.
yeah, well, okay.
The puppet is integral in this
He's
movie.
not really a character.
Yes, he is.
He's Jigsaw. So Adam wakes up in a dirty bathtub, and obviously a key gets flushed down the drain as he wakes up because he kicked the drain plug out.
I don't know.
But the
It's
key is attached.
pretty random thing happens right
Yeah,
here.
all
That,
right. They make a big deal out of it.
Yeah.
It's in the cut. So there's a voice coming from the other room. He's like, I think I'll turn on the lights. And lights come on, and it's Cary Elwes, and then there's a dead guy in the room. And they don't know how they got there. They're chained up to the plumbing. Everybody knows the scenario that they're in because unfortunately everybody saw this movie. But they're
Saw
like,
it.
yeah, right.
Oh,
They're like, who are you? Who are you? How did we get here? I don't know. I just woke up and was here. Was in my apartment and then I was here. Oh, I was driving and then I was here. So wait, huh? No, you know more about how you got here, you stupids. It's already blatantly clear that there's more going on to this scene than what they're telling us.
Yeah, more than just a dirty toilet.
Let's talk about where they wake up. The what did you call it? Grody room or whatever. The Grody
It's an icky
place. Yeah.
It's just that's what I wrote down my first.
What
note.
is it?
It seems to be a large bathroom.
But it's not connected to anything that would have a large bathroom such as this.
Nope.
it's got like a meat packing door.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
It reminds me of like bathrooms inside of like a stadium. Like that
Sure.
size and that like the tile.
Except there's one toilet in a bathtub.
There's only one toilet in a bathtub and plumbing going fucking everywhere.
Sure.
And shit on the walls and it's dirty and gross. And it's got a meat packing door on one end that connects to tunnels underground.
Yeah.
Did Jigsaw build this?
No.
Yeah.
I think it's just
no.
no. I think he found this place.
Well, then what is it, Jackie?
It's where you send your maids to go to the bathroom.
I'm sorry, what?
Where you send your maids to go to the bathroom.
Oh, that
Into
makes
the
sense.
Okay, so you're like,
Makes sense.
your maid's like, I have to go to the bathroom. Well, you can't use the one here. If you drive outside of town about 20 miles, there's going to be an old sewage plant.
Yeah,
At the
you gotta
bottom of
go
that,
into the tunnels.
there's a bathroom that just doesn't make sense because it's about like 800 square feet and there's only one toilet and one
Larger than
bathtub
most
in it.
people's apartments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you can go there.
That's where you have to do.
That's where you, it doesn't flush.
I guess if you're a maid and you like had the power burrito and you plug up the toilet and you've got a problem on your hands, if you know what I'm talking about,
Yeah.
you have to clean up your own poop that you just cleaned up somebody else's poop because
Sure.
you're the maid. You clean the toilet and then you clean your own poop out of the toilet. So you're double cleaning the same toilet. If you go to this spooky, grody, icky place, you just leave it.
See, I think if you're the maid, you shit in the shrubs and make it the gardener's problem.
Tip for the future. If I ever get a maid and a gardener.
You're like, God damn it, she's just kicking this one down the road again.
All right, so they've got envelopes in their pockets, both of them, and inside there's tapes addressed to them. Lawrence has a bullet in his and a key as well.
Sure.
But in the middle of the floor, the dead guy's got a tape recorder. Okay, well, we'll just get that. So they lasso it eventually after an arduous experience with the drain plug that doesn't.
Oh, it's a one.
sucks.
I'd like to point out any of the one moment that's just supremely implausible, but this film is made of moments that are supremely implausible. So it's like, this is just as stupid as anything else that happens.
Yeah.
You know, every time you say Supreme, I just want to go to Taco Bell and get a chalupa.
The
And then-
power burrito.
Yep.
Yeah. Burrito Supreme.
And then because, Justin's primarily does the lawn mowing, he'll be like, take this, gardener.
All right, so they get the tapes put in, and they each say stuff, and Adams is like, hey, man, you need to figure out your life. Oh, and it's also in Jigsaw voice. Does anybody want to try Jigsaw voice?
Blah, 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 blah.
I didn't flush the toilet.
That's awesome.
No, it's not, because it's an audio filter, so
Right.
Yeah.
you can't do it unless you're Michael Winslow.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I'll just pretend to, this is the pre-filtered impression of Jigsaw. Hey, Adam, it's me, Jigsaw. No,
My sister Julia.
yeah, right. It's just Eric Roberts. It's like, Adam, your life's crap. I'm gonna push you through this experience, and you're gonna come out of it fine. It's gonna be better.
Well, his tape made me believe that he was some kind of lawyer at first.
Yeah. Okay.
Because he's like, how do you, or maybe he just said, how do you live with yourself? I thought he said, how are you a lawyer?
How do you represent yourself in a court of law?
Yeah, I was like, oh, all right. So this guy's some kind of lawyer. So, I mean, the whole photograph thing was like, oh, well, I guess that's not what he said.
I think you need to maybe look into Q-tips and clean out your ears.
I was thinking about those weird wax things that you put in your ear, and it's like a candle, and it sucks all the wax out of your ear.
Those things are so gross.
Yeah, I thought about doing it.
Ugh.
Like, if anybody out there has done it and it's been pretty awesome, let me know.
Which is ickier? A giant ball of multiple people's earwax or this bathroom?
It's probably the bathroom.
I think it's earwax, man. Earwax is gross.
It's pretty gross, but you can avoid the ball. If you're in the bathroom, you can't really avoid it.
No, you got to stare at the ball of earwax. You don't have to touch it. You just got to be in the same room with it.
Just
Man,
like
that's
it's sitting
gross.
next to you at the
Yeah,
theater.
that's so gross.
Yeah.
No, I'm going to go with the bathroom. I mean, it has an unflushed toilet. Somebody has smeared shit everywhere.
Yeah.
There is no way to get away from the stank.
And
That's
there's
true.
there's a dead guy in the middle of it.
Yeah.
Quote unquote.
Quote unquote.
And you're chained to the thing. So if a gigantic rat with balls this big came up and wanted a little nibble, there is no way you're getting away.
Yeah, it's true. Okay, so but Larry's tape is a little bit more dramatic. I've got your family, and you've got until 6 p.m. to kill Adam, or I'll kill them. The game is set, or whatever. Oh, fuck off, Jigsaw, you douchebag. There's also a message to follow your heart at the end of the tape.
Sure.
Which was whispered.
Right. Like, okay, so it's a clue, right?
There's so many things that could have gone wrong. One, the tape recorder could have been broken or
Right,
jammed.
batteries are dead.
Yeah, so what's he going to do? Like, get up off the floor and be like, okay, we're going to start again. Hold on, let me go get some double A's. Or, way to go, fucking retard. You threw the tape recorder and it broke. Now we can't listen to Larry's crap.
Right.
Or
Table that.
also, the doctor isn't a super detective better than any of the 4 detectives that you see in this movie. These 3 you see 3, there's a 4th, but he doesn't do as much. But all 3 of the other detectives, not near as good at figuring stuff out as this doctor.
Okay, so they get the follow your heart message, and they look around, and there's a heart on the toilet. And, oh, hey, it's in there.
Celine
Check it out.
Dion put it there.
Who, what?
Celine Dion put it there.
A heart on the toilet?
Follow your heart. Sounds like some shit she would say,
She
right?
says the heart must go on or some shit.
Yeah, that's the Titanic's theme song.
Oh.
To the back
Reach
of the
your
toilet.
hand in the toilet full of shit.
The toilet is full of shit.
And, okay,
It's green diarrhea. It's gross.
it's the worst shit you've seen.
Whose
and
shit is it?
I think it's
I
Jigsaw's.
think it's his. He's
It
probably
has to-
like,
it's only could be Jigsaw's.
And
how
it's-
could he not start laughing when a kid stuck his hand in the shit? I would have been busting up.
Why did he do that though?
To be
Why
an
did he
asshole.
Stick his hand in the shit is what
Well, right. Because that guy's an idiot.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you're a serial killer, a psychotic serial killer, how do you force feed yourself to have this type of grody poo? And then B, when do you take this dump? How long has this dump been in there? Did he take it while they were handcuffed and passed out? Or did he this is all part of my elaborate plan. I will get this bathroom, take a huge dump in it, and then put guys in there.
See, I think because he actually had to build this room that he's just been taking dumps the whole time.
Oh, it's a construction bathroom.
Yeah, and that it doesn't flush, and it's just whiskey and Vienna sausages.
Yeah, because you know what? This is more than one dump because this
Yeah.
toilet is super full.
Yeah, it's full of gross
There's
poo.
no water. It's just a full bowl of diarrhea.
in
And
there.
the heart is specifically drawn on the tank of the toilet. Like, maybe that's where it is, where
On
the
the-
heart
on the
is drawn,
back of the
not
toilet,
the
not the
front
bowl.
of the bowl. And he's like, oh, there's a heart on the toilet. And this guy's just like, yep, let's reach in here and stir my hand around in diarrhea.
And Cary, you might infer that, in your writing, you would, Cary Elwes would be like, you got to reach in there. I can't reach it. You're the only one that can reach it. You got to reach in there. He doesn't say anything. He just makes a gesture with his eyeballs do something. It's completely vague so that you can't say that there was an outside influence on this guy to reach into human shit and just be like, oh, it's all gushy.
Mary Larry was like, this is going to be so funny. Okay, go get the thing. And
Yeah.
he's like, 50-50 shot. This guy's sticking his hand in shit. And he's over there busting a gut because he's like, I might die in here, but you're going to die with poop under your fingernails. And when they do your autopsy, be like, why is this guy covered in shit?
Where do you get the poop on his hand?
Yeah, dude.
Well,
because
story.
The Jigsaw's just going to get up and flush the toilet like right as he's leaving. He's like, figure that one out, coppers.
If I'm Jigsaw at that point, I just sit up and I'm like, dude, I'm fucked up, and I made a really, really fucked up deal for you guys, but I wouldn't make you reach in the toilet. The heart is on the back of the tank, you
It's
stupid.
clearly not in the toilet.
God damn
bowl,
it.
you
Game
dumb
over already. You reached in the poop. That's gross.
Yeah. I flush you both out of this
Yep.
bathroom, dum-dums. All right, so in the back of the toilet is a bag. And in the bag is 2 hacksaws and some pictures that we find out about later. Or a bag filled with pictures that Adam hides away for now.
Yeah. There's other stuff in the bag that turns out to not be a shark or something.
Right. So they start trying to hacksaw their ways through the chains, and Adam's blade breaks, and I guess Larry just gets tired.
It's just another dick move by Jigsaw. He's like, all right, only one of these saws is worth a shit.
Right.
I'm gonna fuck with one of them so that they break.
This is where the first time I watched the movie, when the saws come out, I'm like, oh, fuck this. Because they have like 3 hours or something left, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's say that it was those rusty chains were the easiest thing to get through.
Uh-huh.
You could make it. You could make it through there.
You could make it through there.
But the problem is that those combination locks, somebody who's shitty at using a hacksaw, 4 minutes.
Yeah, they're butter. They're made of butter.
Well, they weren't combination locks; they were key locks.
Well, either way, they're
either
little.
way.
They're little swing locks, and you can cut through them in about 4 minutes.
There's also the cuffs themselves. They never tried that. They only tried the thickest, hardest metal that's used for towing heavy equipment.
Sure.
That's what you're going to start with? And then you're just going to give up and be like, metal's hard!
And that you could have got through it. You just don't press hard and you do more sawing.
You know what they also didn't fucking try? The pipes.
Yeah.
That are made of fucking copper.
That are rusted out.
You guys are morons.
There was the bolt that held the clasps together that's probably only a 1/4 inch.
We got only 2 choices. The chain, the hardest thing in this room, or our fucking feet. That's it, buddy.
Yeah.
You guys are dipshits.
And it seems to be set up on that idea that has been in a lot of horror movies and like, oh, you can cut through it's going to take you 15 minutes to cut through that chain, but it'll only take you 4 to get through your own leg.
Right.
Which is neat and all, but they got like 4 fucking hours or 3 hours or however many hours.
No, it was a long, they wake up at 1:45 to midnight.
Yeah.
They've got all the fucking time in the world.
They could have cut through half of the shit in this room.
They could have remodeled that whole place.
Yeah.
And at least cleaned out that toilet.
He's like, I found the problem. There's a G.I. Joe stuck in the toilet. How'd you find that out, Adam? Did you reach back in there? I did. I used my other hand this time.
That way I could get the right angle to get the G.I. Joe.
Yeah, and then I got poop on both hands. Because that's what I'm looking for. I'm Adam.
And then he keeps like running his hands through his hair and shit throughout the movie and like rubbing his eyes. And I'm like, because that's not going to lead to something gross.
I got dysentery in my eyeball.
Yeah, like you might make it out of here, but you're going to be fucking blind and bald.
Yeah. You thought pink eye was bad.
I got cholera up my nostrils because I'm fishing for gold up there too. What an idiot.
Jigsaw's like, normally I just make him kill themselves. This guy is actually covering himself in my
He's
shit.
trying to kill himself.
Why is he doing that?
All right, so they're like, fuck it, we can't get out of here. But Larry's like, oh, hey, I know the killer. This all seems so familiar. It's an elaborate game set up by this Jigsaw guy. I was accused of his murders. One of many flashbacks. Here we go.
Yeah, the flashbacks got kind of confusing after a while because at first you were thinking, okay, this is present time.
It breaks itself.
Then it's not, and then it is, and then business.
Because, I mean, maybe we should just address all the flashbacks right now.
Sure.
In the interest of time and not like making ourselves hurt inside. But the problem with the flashbacks, and Sam specifically is a do not do flashbacks type of guy. They break their own narrative all over the fucking place with this because they made the movie in post-production in the editing booth.
And one of the things they do that makes this so head-scratchy and jarring with the timetable is they go from a flashback sequence to the present time in his apartment where his wife and daughter are with a direct cut.
Right.
They just cut it together with a flashback. You can't do that. You just can't do that.
The narrative.
Yeah.
And they have flashbacks within flashbacks.
It doesn't make any sense.
It fucking sucks.
Time and space gets there's a flux capacitor in the editing room, basically.
So basically, let's just nip these in the bud. There's also this is a chain of murders that have been happening for some time, at least up to 5 months ago.
Yeah.
These game murders, these Jigsaw's chopping pieces off a guy's skin, and that's how he gets his nickname, and putting them in elaborate traps that they have to make a hard choice, and usually the choice ends up them dying.
I also have to address the fact that both the Danny Glover and what's her face, Dina Meyer, both say it's Jigsaw in different times. It's a piece of a jigsaw puzzle. That's the shape that you are looking for.
Right,
it is not like you see them go, it's a jigsaw. No, a jigsaw is actually a tool.
Yeah, that's correct.
And it looks nothing like that.
It's used to make jigs.
Oh.
Yeah. You can dance with them.
Dance.
Yeah, so Dina Meyer, Danny Glover, and this other guy from Lost, whose name I have no fucking idea. Sorry,
He cannot
buddy.
grow a mustache to save his life.
No, he sure can. They're on the case, but it's mostly Danny Glover and the guy from Lost case because Dina Meyer, I guess, had something else going on.
Yeah,
She's so pretty.
Yeah, she's a good-looking woman.
Yeah.
Do you think her name is Agent Dance?
Oh, because
there's Detective Sing and Detective Tap, and it would make Sing, Tap, and Dance.
Yeah,
then you'd have
like
the whole ensemble there.
Right. Yeah, I'm down.
That's quite awesome.
Yeah.
I now want to change careers.
Who's in charge of this? That would be
Sing and dance.
No. But the actual captain is Captain Jazz Hands.
Now we're going too far.
Oh,
So
that's too far.
they find Larry's laser pen
Yeah.
at some point on one of the crime scenes or something, and they pin it on him because there's a fucking laser pointer there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm thinking? It was one of those ones that he was giving away as a demo. You know how everybody's got pens, right?
Yeah,
And they're-
right.
With their doctor's office names and shit on
This
there,
is
and they're like,
2004 during the laser pointer rage, as it were.
yeah.
Sure.
So they were like, oh my God, this came from this doctor's office. It's probably him.
It's him. We caught the murderer.
Is his name on it? Because that's the thing is that how do they put it back to him?
His fingerprints? He's
Yeah,
never been in trouble.
He's a doctor. The chances of his prints being on record are very low.
Your DNA's on it. We broke into your house and fished out hairs out of your comb and ran it through Quantico. You're it. You're Jigsaw. What the fuck?
And then he's like, "You're gonna put this on me, and your names are really Sing, Tap, and Dance. I mean, that's fantastic. You guys should take that shit on the road."
Yeah, all you would have to say is like when they come and be like, "Hey, you're Jigsaw." I give those pens out at trade shows. I'm a doc. They're promotional. You stupids.
I bought 10,000 of those. They were 4 cents each.
Yeah, you're a fucking idiot. Get out of my office. They have no case on this guy.
No.
None.
No.
But they're like, "You're the guy," and he's like, "No, I got an alibi. Who is it?" It's basically the same thing for Maniac Cop. He doesn't
Sure.
want to say because he's boning a lady on the side. His,
Well, let that be a
assistant.
lesson to you listeners. You don't bone ladies on the side.
Yeah, you'll get convicted of murder
Exactly.
on a completely implausible and unprosecutable argument.
Exactly.
Sure.
So they also like make him watch. Like, okay, well your alibi checks out, but we just want to see if you know anything. We found one of the survivors, so sit in this room and listen to hear her tell her story. And she tells her story about being stuck in this fucking bear trap head thing. Just another stupid Jigsaw thing. We don't have to get too deep into it. Other than the fact that whatever.
You know, and if the key was in a large thing of intestines, that would take you a while. You wouldn't be able to go through an entire person's intestinal tract to find the key
long does she have?
The guy,
60 seconds.
yeah, 60
This-
seconds.
she-
No way.
She doesn't live,
No.
man. She needs 60 minutes to do this.
Yeah.
Yeah, in order to go through the entire intestinal tract.
Even just to get over
no.
there and start, like she dinks around like, oh, can I do it? Can I do it? And it's like she claws at the helmet for a little while, and then she has to break her bonds even to fucking get over there.
Well, the timer doesn't start until after she leaves the chair because
that's
the
true,
chair
yeah.
has a pin
Yeah.
in it, right? And so it's like starts the timing bomb.
Her head comes off.
But she also stabs with the scalpel, which breaks it immediately. So she can't even cut through that guy.
No,
She just has to tear him open with her bare hands.
Ew.
yeah, it's dumb. And there's no reason why they would have like, hey, you want to sit here and listen to this? Well, you don't have a choice because maybe it'll jog your fucking memory,
Well,
Doc.
Super Cop,
Uh-huh.
Danny Glover knows that Cary Elwes did it.
No, he's convinced. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. He's giving him the Amanda Knox treatment. I know you're evil. Saw it in your eyes. What? The evidence actually points to someone else entirely.
Completely.
But he doesn't have evil in his eyes like you. You son of a bitch.
Yeah, because a doctor who is on call and at work every day from, whatever,
Uh-huh.
he has time to set up elaborate plans like this. Like,
Yes.
he just does it on his
Family, children,
fucking lunch break.
24/7 on the clock, one of the world's most renowned brain surgeons, and he just happens to have a tunnel system leading to a weird bathroom.
Yeah.
Nobody noticed that.
Yeah, and he's got all the time in the world, obviously, to plan these little elaborate things out.
No, Danny Glover's an idiot. I mean,
Yes.
not Danny Glover, the human being, but Danny Glover, the actor.
I
Detective
believe that's Tap.
Yeah.
Detective Tapp is the worst cop
He
ever.
is a really bad cop. Is he as bad of a cop as Al Pacino in 88 Minutes?
Is Al Pacino a cop in
He's
88
not a
minutes?
cop. He's a professor. That's true.
I don't even know
Who
what
is
he
a
is.
cop on the side.
He's Professor Cop.
Yeah,
He
he's
sucks.
Professor Know-It-All.
Why does my head look like popcorn?
Okay, all right. Nick Cage and Wicker Man, who is actually a cop. Who's the worst cop?
Danny Glover's way worse.
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
I think so too. Yeah.
Because, I mean, at least he had some, reasonable things that he thought were happening. Like, hey, is that a shark in the bag?
The
Reasonable.
bag was large enough to hold a small shark.
Yeah. See, he was at least drawing some good conclusions.
I wouldn't say that's good. Okay, so they let him go. The rest of the flashbacks we're all just going to skip because essentially they're just them getting nabbed. The setup of them getting nabbed by this psychopath that's put them in this room.
With a pig mask. I want to talk about this pig
Okay,
mask.
yeah, sure.
Okay, sure, yeah.
Because it's kind of like a headless horseman type thing, right? Where,
Except he's a pig-head boxing
yeah,
champion.
but I mean, you don't have any eye holes in this thing. So you've got to be wearing it as a hat of sorts, right? Because you still have to be able to see.
Why can't you just look out the pig's eyeballs? I mean, not the eyeballs, but where these eyeballs used to be.
Well, because they're off to the side, like
Yeah.
really off to the
Yeah,
side.
pigs are shaped different than people, aren't they?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Pigs are shaped different than people.
Yeah, their
Oh.
eye holes are a little
Science.
different. And so I want to know how he even could see when he was doing this. Because, they make it seem like he just has this pig mask on, but there is no fucking way in hell he can see anything.
He's like, gonna get you. And then he just walks straight into
Yep.
a wall.
And then the victims are stupid enough in this film that they'd be like, I'm over here.
Yeah, here, let me help you.
Yeah, are you okay?
Like, he's just like inside the pig mask. Marco. Hello.
Yeah, so he's wearing this thing like a hat. I want to know, he can't see.
No, he can't see.
And, whoever it was that got out of the Mercedes and started crawling around, that was not that old man.
No,
Because, you know what? I am old and I cannot do that.
true.
So, and beyond the mask, like his costumes in general, he's got the stand-in puppet thing. Whatever, it's creepy.
Sure.
But the pig mask, it's a boxing robe.
Yes, he's wearing.
Like, that needs to play when he's wearing it. Like, he's the champ.
Right, bring him in.
It is a silk boxing robe. A silk boxing gown and a pig head is scary.
Right.
Well, he was too cheap to get the boxing thing embroidered with the jigsaw puzzle piece.
Oh, dude, that'd be
That
sweet.
would be- see,
If
if
I
he
was
had
a
his
psycho,
own
I
name.
would have all sorts of glam shit about myself.
How do you like that logo? It costs like $600.
They'll never track it back. I paid in cash.
Yeah.
One other flashback that does come into it is Danny Glover and Agent guy from Lost,
Yeah.
is they watch some footage that they've got their hands on from Jigsaw from the survivor lady, and they spot a clue that leads them to a location that they remember or something.
From
Long
a
story
gang
short,
bust.
they get to a warehouse.
They see some background stuff that you look for initially in these tapes
Uh-huh.
that any other detectives would have noticed the second or first time they watched
Right,
the
yep.
fucking
Right,
tape.
right. And it takes them to a warehouse that is clearly Jigsaw's place or whoever. I don't know whose place this is, but it's Jigsaw related.
Yeah.
And there's a guy there underneath a tablecloth, and he's in some elaborate fucking drill chair thing.
Who is this dude?
He's nobody.
Nobody.
I think that honestly, he's in cahoots with the Jigsaw, and he's been doing all the construction work for these places. And he's like, "Look, dude, they're onto us. I'm going to strap you to this chair. I swear to God, they'll save you."
What if they don't?
No, they're going to save you.
No, but what if
But
they-
you owe me $5,000
They-
for the other job that I just did, right? For the doctor job.
Can I just stop you there? Can I ask one question?
Yeah.
What if they don't?
No, it's fine.
No,
I'm going to pay you that $5,000 I owe you for the doctor job. Like,
Doctor job.
you know, the set that you just built me for the doctor in the
That's true,
bathroom.
yeah.
Yeah.
But-
I'm going to do it for you. But I mean, I really need you to do this because if they catch us, the fun's over, dude.
But I was just
but
making
if
a
I die, the
bathroom.
fun's over.
No. I put in these drill bits and they'll just fall out when they hit you in the head.
Oh, okay, I'm in then.
All right.
So they also go into this place hot, no warrant. Everything that they
No
find,
Backup.
no backup.
Let's say you don't. This is enough, maybe, that you probably don't even need a warrant. You could probably storm it on probable
Why?
cause.
They have no. It's just they saw something that looks like something, and they sort of heard something that sort of sounded like something. No judge is going to give them a warrant on this shit.
I bet with this, because it's a big serial killer, they got a time and a place. They make the call. They get one in 30 minutes. They go in with backup. They catch
Either way,
him.
they should have tried.
They shouldn't do what they do.
They really fucked this one up.
This is when Danny Glover's Super Cop starts to really come into fruition here.
Who said anything about a warrant?
Yeah.
The fucking Constitution, you idiot!
What? Yeah. Unlawful search and seizures. That's in there, buddy.
This guy should run for president. Hey-o! Hoo! Ha!
He's a little too smart for that.
And he's getting too old for that shit.
And he doesn't look like a Cheeto.
Ooh.
Okay.
There's a whole song on it about the internet.
So they go in there. None of if they even catch this guy, he's going to get off because none of this evidence is admissible in a court of law. They probably wouldn't even read him as Miranda rights, these dum-dums.
Yeah.
So they find this guy, and they're like, oh, Jigsaw's coming in. Let's see what he's going to do.
Let's see what he's going to do.
I'm sorry?
Okay. He's got a man strapped to an apparatus with two drills that looks like he's going to clamp on his head. I think that's what he's going to do.
Yeah, he's going to come in here and drill this guy. And that's what he starts to set up.
Yeah.
And they're like, hey, freeze. No, just get him at the elevator. Freeze, motherfucker. That's what you do. And then you do your thing.
And then he gets away because you did everything illegally.
Correct.
But
Yeah,
at least the guy in the chair lives, right?
Right. Yeah, that's true. Well, he lives in the scenario either way. Long story short, they fuck it all up.
Oh, yeah.
The guy in the chair lives. There's some like ordeal about like, what are you gonna do? Murtaugh's holding him, the Jigsaw. Like, you gotta either choose. You gotta save him, or you gotta arrest me. Which is it gonna? What are you talking about? What the fuck is Captain Tap gonna do for this guy with the drills coming towards him?
Well, you know what you shouldn't do right here?
Mm-hmm.
You shouldn't handcuff this guy.
You should not do that. That would be, or bonk him with the end of your shotgun.
I mean that's illegal. But you've already danced across that line.
In this scenario, it is. I don't think
That's assisting him to the ground. Maybe.
it is. He's potentially a threat at that point. I think you can bonk him. You only
Either
got so
way.
much time to save this guy's life. But what's he gonna do?
Got his
The
hands-
other guy can't.
He's got his hands up in the air. You're covering him. Fucking put him down.
And then what the fuck is? Somebody answer me. Why are they like, help me, help me?
They suck.
What am I gonna do?
What's who gonna do?
Murtaugh.
He's gonna do nothing.
He can't do anything that the other guy can't do. Which the other guy just shoots the fucking motors.
Which means he doesn't even shoot the motors. He shoots the drill bits off. So he gets worse drilled.
He shot the drill bits off?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
So the chuck just grinds into that guy's brain. He doesn't make it. He still
That
dies.
is the dumbest thing you could do in that scenario. You could also maybe unplug it.
That's what I was going to say. Looks like it's plugged into something.
Right.
Or there's some wires that you could just rip at.
Oh
Or you
my
could just shoot the
God.
drill in general, it breaks it, and it stops.
Why don't you just shoot the guy in the chair in the back of the head and be like, well, at least you didn't get drilled.
Then shoot Jigsaw, shoot Danny Glover, shoot yourself. Shoot me while you're at it. Put us all out of our fucking misery.
So Danny Glover is like, oh, what do you want me to do? And gets his throat cut by Jigsaw's secret wrist knife.
Yeah.
Which
would have been identified when you grabbed his hands to cuff him.
Right.
Or bonked him with the shotgun and it came out just anything but what he does, which is nothing. He does
Is
nothing.
Danny Glover dead?
Yes.
He probably should be.
He should have probably, his throat was slashed.
I don't. Maybe he
He
didn't get
died
the
from that.
arteries, I guess, or the veins or whatever.
Oh, he's got those really strong neck muscles.
Well, he didn't get to the side. He only got the front of it.
Yeah, only the.
So he didn't really get where either of your vitals on your neck are. So there's a chance he lives.
I think if you're the type of guy that goes through these elaborate traps and you've also got a wrist knife, it's
Yeah.
probably pretty sharp and you know how to use it. You've probably practiced with it. I think Danny Glover's fucking head came off.
Probably.
But this movie's so stupid that it did.
He doesn't.
So Danny Glover's like, I'm bleeding. I'll just hold it with my hand. And Lieutenant Lost Singh goes and chases after Jigsaw, who's running away like a freaking weirdo.
After he shoots at him somewhere in between 9 and 12 feet away and doesn't hit him once.
And several rounds were shot, too.
Yeah, no one can shoot anyone in this fucking movie.
So he goes downstairs. He's like, oh, I got a clean shot on him. He's got the shotgun now. And he shoots him, and it sure looks like he shot it. I mean, I'm no expert on how shotguns work, but I have operated one or two in my lifetime. You can shoot a duck with a shotgun or a goose from about 200 yards away.
Not 200, but more like 50.
50 yards away.
He's
Yeah, you're
15 fucking feet
He's
away.
15 fucking, and in a hallway, he can't miss. If you shoot that shotgun, you have hit your target.
Plus, he's got buckshot in there. It's not. There's big balls. This is not birdshot that he's using.
Right.
He hits this guy.
Yeah. So Jigsaw's dead, but he's not, and Lieutenant Singh walks into a trap that is a shotgun pointed at his head from above and blows his
Like
brains
several
out.
of them. I liked
Yeah.
this trap a lot.
Okay.
I thought
Oh.
that this was, if I was going to set a booby trap and I really wanted to make sure that person wasn't going to follow me again, this is the trap I would pick.
Here's a little problem.
Did he run straight through that tripwire
Why?
before?
Right.
He
And-
didn't jump over anything
No,
when he got shot.
didn't. And when they came up the fucking stairs,
Maybe this is the back way. I don't know.
whatever. There's
Maybe
no
they're
traps on the front end. Like
No.
the only traps if you try to get out.
Hey,
Yeah,
maybe.
whatever. Okay, so Danny Glover makes it. He gets a scar on his throat, and he gets done with the cops, and now he's obsessed with the Jigsaw killer. There's your backstory.
Not really. He's obsessed with Larry still.
Cary Elwes.
Yeah.
He's staking out his house, actually, even. He's going that far.
Uh-huh.
He's got security and, like, one of those walls that just have, like, photos and newspaper articles and then, like, the thumbtacks with the red yarn that stretches from point to point. Looks very, like he's actually doing something.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then his walls are also graffitied, and so you know that he's just living in an abandoned warehouse.
On the other side of town
From
from the doctor's house.
Yeah, because there's no way this place is. They try to. It almost seems like they're trying to make it look like he's across the street from the doctor,
I think he is
Yeah.
supposed to be.
but the doctor's not living in the slums.
No, they even say so. Like, even this neighborhood has sewers. Even though it's a really nice neighborhood.
Yeah, he tells Larry at one point, even this neighborhood has sewers
They all have sewers.
that connect to other sewers. What the fuck does that mean, guy?
You know what he should have said? Shit rolls downhill. Why do you think all the rich live up the street?
I think you should try that one again.
You should say that no matter who we are in this world, our poop all ends up together as one. So we should start as one.
Look, Daddy,
Social
they all
statements.
look the same.
Yep.
Once they're covered with ash.
Or poo.
All right, so back in toilet room, Adam and Larry have discovered that they're on video behind a mirror. It's now 1 p.m., and they take a little bit of time to get to know each other because nothing is going on in this movie. We're making it sound exciting, but really nothing has happened in this movie at all, other than two guys in a dingy toilet room talking.
Yeah.
Yeah,
One of them has shit all over his hands.
yeah. I had actually forgotten how, like, I thought this was way more exciting than it is.
So did I. I thought it was going to be anything but boring. It was fucking boring.
And I think I was thinking about a different one where there were multiple people in the room.
Yeah.
Saw 2,
Probably one of
3,
the
or I didn't watch any of them after this because I hated this one so much.
All right, so there's a photo of the nabbed family in Larry's wallet with a note on the back that says, X marks the spot. Look for it with your eyes closed. Which gives, but he doesn't tell, Adam finds this and he doesn't tell Larry. Larry's like, hey, what do we do? And Adam's like, well, let's turn off the lights and look for the X. And they do, and there's a glow-in-the-dark X on the wall. And they punch through the wall behind the tiles, and there's a box with some cigarettes, a lighter, and a note. Oh, and a cell phone.
Yep.
Yeah, this would have been the point where you just put the fucking gun in the box.
Well, the gun's on the floor with the dead guy.
I know, but
Right.
he should have just, obviously, as we'll see throughout this movie, he has a really hard time stretching for things. So,
Yeah. So the phone only receives calls. It's one of those.
Yeah.
because that's how cell phones
They
work.
have that.
Question that?
You get you go to like the Walmart, and I think it's like, there's the Straight Talk wireless. There's also the kidnappers only.
Kidnappers only. Wireless. Yeah.
I need a phone that only receives call. Why are you going to kidnap somebody? Because that's the only fucking thing this is good for.
You can't use that if you're a drug dealer. You need to
No.
call people. Nobody only receives calls. That's retarded.
Yeah.
All right. And Adam's like, hey, man, give me one of those smokes. Give me one of those smokes. And they, Larry in his mind hatches a plan where he's like, oh, I'm going to fake Adam's death. And then that will get me out of the situation. Adam will be fine. I don't have to kill a guy and I can get my family. The dead guy in the middle of the room has got a bunch of blood and poison. And so he dabs the cigarette butt in the blood, which, like, if you're going to poison a guy, that's, like, the dumbest way of doing it because he's going to, like, there's blood on the end of my cigarette.
Well, Adam likes to stir his hand around in a shit,
Yeah, that's
so
true.
he
That's
might
true. He
like
might
that
smoke
cigarette
it.
better.
And he's also going to smoke smoke that cigarette with his dominant hand, which is the one he stuck in the toilet.
Yeah, the poop hand.
Yeah, so he's sucking his own. Yeah, who gives a shit at that point?
Mm-hmm. Typhoid Mary coming his way.
You know, like, quite honestly, if I'm in this situation, I'm thinking I'm not going to get out of here. How many cigarettes are over there? Once I'm done with all of those, do me a favor and pop me.
So they turn off the lights and have a brief powwow that Jigsaw can't hear and explain the plan. And then they turn back on the lights, and Cary Elwes is like, hey, so you still want one of those cigarettes? And Adam's like, you bet I do. Because their fake death scene is pretty bad.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I'm not buying it,
No.
said Jigsaw, who was watching them.
Well, here's the thing. If you really think about it, there was no poison in that blood.
Well, right.
So he knew that they were being buttholes.
Oh, yeah, I guess that's true. But the Adam's death, quote unquote death from this poison blood
Is bad.
it's amazing.
There's, I would say, what do you think, fourth grade theater?
It reminds me of, like, when you're like 8 and you get shot, like, the finger gun by your friends while you're playing Cowboys and Indians, and you do that, like, way over dramatic death that takes forever.
Yeah, because you're out of the game. You got to stretch that baby out for a little bit.
Yeah. He stops short of going cross-eyed and going,
Sticking his tongue out and
Yeah.
putting his feet and legs up. Getting, like, simulating X's over his eyes. Yeah. It's
Quick, give me a Sharpie.
Jigsaw doesn't buy it, so he shocks Adam. Because hold on. He shocks Adam through his chained foot.
Yeah.
That is only a chain.
It's an electric chain.
It is not.
Electric chain. He built this bathroom.
There's no such thing.
There's no such thing as anything in this movie.
There's no diodes or wires or anything involved that would shock this man.
They put it in his underwears.
No, it's through his chain.
No, it's in his underwears. That's
So
the only logical
it's
explanation.
Wireless zapping.
Yeah, like a dog collar.
Oh,
They
okay,
lined
which
his underwears with it, and they're
not
like, "Take this, Ben Kingsley."
really is gonna kill you.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure that if you got zapped in the balls, it hurt pretty bad.
Yeah, sure.
So he's running this off of a garage door opener. We're going to find out later that there's electricity on both chains.
Right.
What happens if he fucks up and shocks the wrong guy here?
He loses track of which one's which.
Yeah.
It's so stupid.
Wait, sorry. Okay, that's better.
Oh yeah, I meant to shock the other dude.
So now it's 4 p.m. Their plan didn't work. It turns out, as we revealed more flashbacks, that Adam is a private investigator, and he was tailing Larry, who was cheating on his wife and following him in motels. I don't know if is that ever plot relevant? Or is it just like, hey, look at this guy?
I think that it's actually, look over here.
I think it is too.
I think that whole, like, everybody's connected is, look over here, because that doesn't have anything to do with the non-existent plotline of this movie.
The only connection that could be made that's relevant is these guys' connection to the fucking killer.
Yeah.
And they're not.
But that's the thing, is that it's random, and so why are they all connected? They're not, but they are. But what?
Why does it matter?
Try not to
Who
think
gives a
about
shit?
it. Yeah.
Fuck off. Also, they find out that Danny Glover hired Adam to tail because he's obsessed, I guess. So it's sort of plot relevant.
So he's
not really.
And why?
Yeah.
This is what he's doing. He's already doing this.
Right.
Why are you hiring somebody to do what you're already doing?
Correct.
Jesus Christ, man. You're even a bad, lousy ex-cop.
You're a terrible cop. It's now 6 p.m. Jigsaw has got the ladies tied up. They're in their own house. They're in ropes. Mom gets out of her ropes somehow, though. She just kind of like pulls on him because apparently he never went to the Boy Scouts.
It took her 3 hours to get those ropes off.
She just kind of gentle pulls on him and they're off. Either way, she's freed. Jigsaw comes in. He's like, it's 6 p.m. Your husband didn't get it done. So time to die, Rostov.
I have to address something here because we're here. We've already established this is Zap from the hospital.
Right.
The orderly, at least.
Right. Mm-hmm.
He's got a bad leg.
Okay.
We've seen that in every scene.
Mm-hmm.
Did you notice that he had full surveillance equipment in Larry's house?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's like, all right, I got you. You're tied up. Give me a minute. I have to go downstairs. This is going to take me with my bum leg probably 2 hours to schlep all this shit up here. 4 more hours to put all of it together.
Uh-huh.
And then maybe I'll have it done in time for what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he did have some setup time, right? Because the husband had to go, Larry had to go to the hotel, tell the secretary that he wasn't going to have sex with her. And then they drug him, right? And then he would have to wake
in the
up.
bathroom, Jackie.
He's already there.
At a quarter to midnight.
But the kid and the mom get nabbed right as he leaves the house.
Correct. So they've got a 6-hour fucking window.
It takes him all night to do it, I guess.
No, he would actually have less time. Either way. It sucks. So she pretends to be captive, and she calls Larry, and Jigsaw's like, well, you got to tell your husband that you failed, and you're going to get your head blown off. And she's like, okay, cool, bro. I'm free. Wee.
Yeah.
Give me that gun. And she wrestles it away from him pretty easily.
Yeah. Well, he's an orderly.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
And this goes on for a while. They go back and forth with this nonsense.
Well, she fucks up big time. Like, here's my thing. You've got a killer in your house, right? He's held a gun to your head and a gun to your child's head. I'm not saying you shoot this guy.
You have every right to shoot this guy.
You do, but you still don't know where your husband's at.
Sure.
You know that your husband's been kidnapped. Fucking kneecap this guy.
Stomach.
Just nip this in the butt. No, that's potentially murder. Because he'll bleed out in 4 hours.
That's fine. You got 4 hours to find out where he is. You still have every right to kill him. It's fucking trespassing with a gun.
Yeah,
it's self-defense.
You
freed yourself and you shoot him in the
both
stomach.
knees, though, for sure.
Knees can be hard to hit.
And now you just be like,
he's
hey,
already got a bad
bam!
knee. Like, you shoot him there, it's like, that's a wooden leg. How's the other leg, sir? Is it real?
Well, my kneecap is perfect, just so you know.
Center mass, one shot. They're probably not going to die that fast.
Yeah, stomach shots take a while to die
You
from.
got about 4 hours to bleed out from.
And they're really super painful. So
Yeah.
fuck
Depending
that
on
guy.
the caliber of the gun, though.
There's a 45.
Yeah.
It's going to leave a big hole.
It's going to leave a big hole. He might have a lot less time than that.
Either way, it's enough time to spill the beans because you poke at it.
No matter what.
As you poke at it,
Yeah.
you just go get your.
Well, I'm saying I think a lot of mothers turn into the sort of person that would stomach shot and then use a broom to torture them until they gave up after that sort of thing happens. Like, you almost killed my child. You're going to die horribly, and you're going to tell me everything you know, you cocksucker.
At the very least.
I'm with you. I think I'd do it.
At the very least, you don't not shoot him.
You don't not shoot him.
Yeah.
Because she's like, what? And gets the gun fucking taken away from her like a fucking idiot. And they wrestle around on the floor for a little while. Danny Glover's like, wait, is that gunfire out here? From across the fucking...
When he sees the other guy in the house,
He doesn't do anything.
he doesn't do anything. He's freelancing. It doesn't really matter if you're breaking the law or not at this point because you've been breaking the law the whole time.
Right. You can at least save somebody's life, potentially.
Yeah, but it's like, oh, what's that guy doing here? What is that guy doing, Super Cop?
You super stupid.
God, he sucks so bad.
So he runs over there, and then him and Jigsaw have the worst gunfight ever. Jigsaw is laying on the floor. He's using hardwood floor as cover. Like, he's not behind anything. He's just laying there shooting at Danny Glover. Danny Glover is trying to hide behind, like, beams and stuff. A trained professional, and he can't he empties a clip and misses completely.
From 5 feet away.
From a guy who's laying on the floor.
And he tries to hide behind a 4x4 post when he's like 6'5" and 270 pounds.
Right.
Like, yep, where'd he go?
Can't see me. Yeah, this scene sucks. And then she stabbed him with scissors too that she keeps in her fucking underwear drawer.
Yeah.
What? Nobody has scissors in their underwear drawer. Anyways.
There were meat scissors too.
Yeah. So she and the kid escape. So they're fine. And Danny Glover and Jigsaw have what I'm going to say a quote unquote car chase.
Yes.
Quotes. This sucks.
Yep.
Car chase. It's just them sitting in cars and the camera zooming in. They're not even in actual moving cars.
No, there's just smoke machine on, and then they're both making the "I'm driving fast" face. Is that a thing?
It sucks so bad.
Yeah.
Ugh. Then they drive to the tunnels that appear to me like it's an old mine shaft. Not fucking...
Like a sewage treatment plant thing.
I don't fucking know.
It's out on the outskirts of town, either way. They'd have to drive a ways to get there.
Yeah.
But it only takes 2 minutes because the clock's still around there. Time does not work in this movie.
Nope. Well, meanwhile, back in the toilet room, the phone is ringing. I'm assuming it's the wife calling the same number again and being like, hey, we're cool. But it's now out of reach somehow.
Why did you throw that over there? When did you throw that out? Did you throw that over there?
Right.
Or did the movie just make it too far away?
And right here, Larry goes pretty bananas.
Bananas.
He's freaking out, trying to get to the phone. I gotta save my family. And Adam's like, what are you doing, dude? And he's like pulling on the chain, like he goes fucking apeshit. And it's some of the worst acting I've ever seen.
Yeah,
I would like to think that you would go apeshit if me and our children
Sure,
were.
absolutely. But if I was an actor, I would choose a different path to portray going bananas than what Cary Elwes did here because it's fucking laughable.
It is. This is when the first time I see this, I'm watching it with two people that are sort of into it, and I couldn't help myself. I was wanting to laugh during the quote unquote chase scene, and when Cary Elwes starts cutting his leg off, I lost it. I thought it was the funniest thing I'd seen in years.
This is the watershed moment for this film.
Yes.
Because it's the exact same scene as the guy falling off the end of the Titanic and hitting his head on the propeller on the way down. If you're a horrible person, you laugh in the movie theater.
Yes.
Which we all did.
I thought it was hilarious. I was finally waiting for something to happen that I didn't hate in Titanic, and it was the same way here. Just this one isn't as long.
Right. It's the same movie, though. There's teenagers crying in Titanic, and there's teenagers making out in the back of the theater during this one.
Mm-hmm.
And, I really wanted more gore from the leg choppings.
Ah, dude, the gore sucks in this film.
And it wasn't there. It was like, I'm one half quarter centimeter in, and we're gonna cut away. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? You've shown us some horrible shit up to this point.
Not really.
Not
That guy
really,
has
it's
reached into a
implied horrible
toilet for shit.
Well, that's horrible.
gross.
That's
yeah.
gross. And bear trap on a mannequin head.
That doesn't really.
Yeah.
And you know,
it's
like
implied gross.
I was ready.
Yeah.
I was ready for
Gross.
the gross gore that made it rated R, and it was just
What made this rated R?
flesh wound.
It was the poop.
Probably the poop.
Rated R for stirring your hand in the feces.
Yep.
Scat play.
Yeah, that'll do it. So he saws off his foot. We all know what happens to that. He gets out and he gets the phone, and he doesn't go for the phone. He gets the gun. He's like, "Gonna
Yep.
save my family. Sorry, Adam."
And he becomes the best shot in the movie and still doesn't fucking, he
Still
wings him.
doesn't get it
He
done.
fucking wings him in the shoulder.
He did it on purpose, he said.
Oh, I
so
don't
that
think
he could
so.
save him.
Oh, fuck off.
When
You
he,
don't
like, he's like surprised when
he
he's
just
like, oh.
sawed his own foot off, and fake killing a guy already didn't work.
Yeah.
No.
I'm just saying, in this scene, I was mostly focused on the foot that wasn't there. You know, the bloody stump rag that they had on him.
Uh,
And I just thought it was funnier than hell. I'm like, that is not what that would look like, sir.
No. Also, on the other side of town, or actually on the other side of the door, Danny Glover has gotten dead quite dumbly. Very poor coping.
They had a wrestling match before that sucked. And they have another one that isn't really wrestling. It's sort of like Big Spoon, Little Spoon.
Mhm.
And then Danny Glover gets shot in the middle of it.
Right.
And he's dead.
It sucks. Like, you are a bad cop.
Yeah, you just got shot by a hospital orderly.
Right.
You are
You're
not
trained-
super cop.
You're a trained professional. You have to take training for this, you idiot.
He's got a bad leg and another leg with a pair of scissors in it, and you're 6'5" and 270, and you can't out wrestle him.
And you basically, it seems like you pointed your own gun at your own tummy and pulled the trigger.
He did.
What an idiot. Okay. So, and the whole stupid thing is the family was okay this whole time. They're fine.
Sure.
You didn't have to saw your leg off or shoot this other guy. Anyways, Jigsaw comes in because he's free now. He doesn't have Danny Glover to worry about. And Adam's not dead. And Adam wrestles him to the ground because he's going to kill Wesley Snipes, Cary Elwes.
Sure.
And he beats him in the head with the back of the toilet lid,
Yep.
which will do it. And so
Yeah, and
Larry-
they didn't even show this.
Right. No, it's not rated R. It's fucking stupid. And Larry's like, "Oh, well, that's over. I'm gonna go get help." And they're like super bros and like, "Oh, I won't let you die. I'm gonna bleed out, but I'm gonna go get help right now." And Adam's like, "Cool, beat it."
They love each other.
They do love each other now.
They're like holding each other, looking at like, I'll be back for you.
Yeah.
Really? I'm going to bleed to death. Well, which is it?
Yeah.
Well, hurry your ass up and quit with the nicey nice.
You,
Get your ass out there and save us.
He should have like snaked his way out the door like most of the way. Then you just see his like stump leg stop at the edge, and then you hear, Adam, what? I got some bad news. There's a ladder out here, and I only got the 1 foot.
The very least that he could do is be like, on your way out, could you hand me the fucking phone in case somebody calls?
Yeah.
And I could just save us all a lot of time because you're not going to get out of here, dude. You're going to bleed the fuck out.
Yeah.
You idiot. Anyways, so he leaves and Adam feels a tape recorder on the dead Jigsaw, quote unquote. And he plays it and then it's like, "Hey, you guy orderly, you're going to do all this shit
Yep.
because it's part of this elaborate trap. And hey, you weren't Jigsaw this whole time. Guess who was? The fucking dead guy on the floor."
He's really good at holding still.
Yeah.
Like, and not breathing. And also not being smelly from death.
Like, how do you,
Pooping.
like,
Right.
he's obviously given himself an enema or something because, you know,
No
He-
pee, no poop.
he doesn't even fart.
Right.
Well, I guess if you were a dead corpse, you could probably get away with it too.
That smell? Dookie. He would smell. Where's that sudden piss smell come from? I guess maybe that's why they put it in the poop so that he is shitting and peeing and pooping.
Yeah.
And they don't smell anything different than the poop and pee that's already in there.
No, maybe.
I don't know, but either way, why is he breathing?
I liked this part when he gets up off the
Oh,
floor.
it sucks.
I liked it.
It
This is
sucks.
what everyone loved about the movie. You didn't see that coming.
Oh,
Well, maybe I didn't, and maybe I didn't care by this
I
point
didn't
either.
fucking give a fuck. And it still doesn't make any goddamn sense. And he's like, hey, I had a brain tumor. And Dr. Dipshit was like, you're going to die.
Yeah.
And so I started killing everybody because that's just what people do.
And then there's this whole flash like, everybody knows everybody.
Right.
If everybody knows everybody, then the point of this movie is moot.
Completely.
Because it's supposed to be random.
Right.
But everybody knows everybody.
Or not random and teach somebody a fucking lesson. Like, you can't treat people like this that have cancer. He doesn't treat
Do
people
that.
bad. He just does his job.
So you know the drug addict?
Sure.
With the bear trap?
Uh-huh.
That's his daughter. He's like, before I die of brain tumor, you're going to get off the smack.
Yeah,
There's
maybe.
no moral.
No, there's not. In fact, it leads me to my only question.
Okay.
Because there's too many questions. There's no answers to in this. My biggest question is that if there was a moral lesson, Zepp in the movie says his name's John. He's a really interesting guy.
Mhm.
He cares about him. He took the only guy that talked to him and cared about him and made him part of his murder piece. That makes no sense.
Right. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense. That was my big question is why, and I think we aren't going to be able to answer what the fuck is the motive here.
No.
So my question was, what was your favorite murder?
Hmm.
I'm going with guy that had to go through all the razor wire.
So this was a question for you,
Yeah.
and you alone, because you didn't even let us have time to respond. Favorite murder? Probably Danny Glover.
Yeah, I would say.
It sucks.
And I wanted him to die so bad after he can't beat up like an orderly that has been injured in both legs. So Danny Glover, yes.
What happens to the doctor?
He bled to death
He
like 4
bled
feet
out.
outside. We saw the ladder and was like, shit, shitty. And he was crawling. Like, he's like, I'm going to go get help. Are you going to do that? Ugh.
Right.
Can't even, you're moving a half a mile an hour. Let's say that somehow the other side of that wall is the police station. You still might not make it.
You could be by the train tracks, man.
Yeah.
You're not going to do it. What happens if they don't do anything? Or if they fuck it up?
I
Like they
think
drop the key down the toilet.
if
They
he
can't
just
get the
sits
key.
up and he's like, oh, there's a key, and he unlocks it and he walks out,
Or-
that's
no,
what could happen.
Right, or could, but what happens if they just sit there and like talk the whole time?
I guess he gets up and he's like, well, you're still chained up, so I'm going to leave you in here. Bah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because there's so many things about this plan that can go wrong.
Like a ton of things. They don't find the tapes. They don't find the X ever. They just fuck it up. And they never learn this fucking lesson about nothing that they're supposed to.
You're
Fuck
supposed
off
to
with
love
this
life
shit.
because I'm going to die,
Right.
but not anytime soon because they have to make 14 of these movies.
Yeah. Oh, gross.
How many of them are there?
I think 6 now with this new one.
Yeah, I think 6 with the new one.
So bad movie staple. Do they know how phones work?
Nope.
Nope, they sure don't.
All
They sure
right.
don't. No. What's your least favorite motif about this film? I'll name some options. The flashbacks, the plot twist at the end, the editing style, the post-production storytelling. We'll fix it. We'll tell the story in post-production without really anything. What's your least favorite filmmaking decision in this film?
See, that's the problem is the reason I hate it is because it is it is the sum of all of its bad parts.
Mhm.
And that's what I hate about this movie.
So you can't even
All
say
of the above.
Well, okay, it's all of the above. Jackie?
I hated the sequences, and a good example of this is the bear trap lady,
Mhm.
where the camera is spinning
Yes.
and it's very jagged, and you can't really tell what's going on, and they like speed up the footage, and
Right.
that whole thing, it just pissed me off. I was like,
Yep.
I hate this. Like,
Yeah.
Only worked twice, once in Go, once in Spun. Don't do it anymore.
Yeah. I'm going to go with the flashbacks. I fucking hated the flashbacks. It's just so, like, inane storytelling and doesn't work and breaks your fucking narrative and you confuse your audience. Wait, where are we? And even though they're dumb teenagers, they're still asking that question, and you don't need to even do that. Don't make them go, where am I right now
Yeah.
in this film? Even if you're paying 100% attention.
And I think that actually might be on design, because if you don't have this, like, what the fuck is going on here?
Mm-hmm.
Then you'll go, this is like a 5-minute idea. Why am I watching it for
Right,
90
yeah,
fucking minutes?
Right. Ugh. All right. Final recommendations.
Do
What?
Oh boy,
Okay,
Jackie.
let's hear this.
it has some redeeming qualities.
Okay,
A
name
terrible car chase.
That's fun.
Um,
The last 15 minutes are funny. It's just it takes too long to get to them.
yeah. I don't know. I just I hadn't seen this in a while, and I liked it. I was entertained, but I'm gonna say that it's a flu watch.
Okay, the flu watch. Jackie's flu watch.
Yeah,
I've got
flu
the
watch.
flu. I'm gonna watch Saw.
Yeah, I'm not
Yeah.
going to do it.
You're not. That is not going to happen because, as we've decided, this is visual Valium, and if you have the flu, you're especially passing out.
Yeah.
During fucking Saw. I'm going to give it a do not. It is too fucking boring.
Yeah, that's my do not. And I would have said, for all of the other reasons that you just mentioned, was why it was a do not. But on a second viewing, it's like, it's all of those things and boring.
Yeah.
Blech.
You know what my least favorite thing about Saw is on the grand scheme of things, it's crap.
You sure?
But it's not the crappiest film that's ever been
No.
made by far. It's just bleh crap. It's unviewable. But it spawned so much copycats
Yeah.
that are even crappier than crap. Like,
Mhm.
imagine without Saw, would we even have the Asylum?
I don't know.
Like, that's what this movie did to film genre, is fucking pissed in its face. It made an excuse to, like, not spend any money and just make these jump shitty fucking editing bullshit movies.
Blumhouse.
Yeah, Blumhouse, who has made a couple decent films, in his defense. But those just shitty fucking garbage not even cat jumping out of the, like, the room is gross, so therefore it's a fucking horror movie, and none of it has to be actually frightening mentally. It's just,
That's the thing that I hate
Fuck
most
off.
about Saw, is that it's better than every one of the 4 horror movies that we have to watch for worst of every year.
Right.
It's a lot better than those
right.
movies.
Yes.
It rises above the genre's so toilet bound that this thing actually is better than 70% of the shit that comes out.
Because of it.
Yeah, because of itself.
So go fuck yourself, Saw. Thanks a
Yeah,
lot.
Thanks a
faces.
lot.
All right, on streaming do's and don'ts, we got 3 this week, kind of all spooky related. First up, Sam and I watched this. Jackie, you caught the tail end. Riff Tracks, as tradition. The Bermuda Triangle, starring John fucking Huston.
Yeah, and one of the Bond girls, I already forgot her name.
Yeah,
She's actually on the Time Machine hit list.
Oh, the Bermuda Triangle. Wowie wow. It was 73, I think this was.
I think it was later than that. It was
Okay.
like 77.
This is a paycheck for John Huston.
Sure.
He does not do a good job.
No, it's not. The weirdest part about this is that I've seen this movie like 4 or 5 times.
Yeah, you liked it when you were a child.
No, it was just on.
Okay, all right.
So like that was the thing, is that the channels that, because back in the day when reception wasn't so good,
Mhm.
like you didn't always have all the channels, right?
Right.
So KCOP and came in the best, and they showed afternoon movies, and they would play the shit out of this one.
Yeah, it's probably cheap.
Yeah, all the disaster movies, because they were so crappy, were cheap, and so this is one of them.
It has the air of a disaster movie, but I don't know if it is.
Nothing happens.
I thought that doll was killing people, or it was the pictures that they threw
Okay,
overboard.
so if you haven't seen this movie, I'm going to go ahead and say do with or without. I fucking love this movie.
It's bad.
It's super bad. A family goes out into the Bermuda Triangle and has Bermuda Triangle experiences while on this weird, like, cruise boat thing that I
They're
don't even know what
going
the
to
fucking they're
find
doing.
the city of
Oh
Atlantis.
yeah, they're looking for Atlantis. That's right. They're divers.
They find it, sort of.
Yeah, which is the only part of the film that I don't like, is when they find Atlantis, because top tip to filmmakers, don't fucking shoot underwater and have it be an entire fucking sequence.
Unless it's a really good one, not just a bunch of stock footage.
No, there's no such thing as a really good one. If a James Bond film can't make a underwater fight scene exciting, then it can't be done. Don't shoot underwater. It's boring as shit. Thunderball sucks.
It does.
Because of the underwater fight scene. So, yeah, right.
That music doesn't even make, and it's just shots of people like, I can't swim any faster than this.
Right. It sucks. But this movie is bonkers. Is it the Bermuda Triangle? There's all sorts of weird shit that's happening. Is it Atlantis, the magic of Atlantis, the people
magic,
rising and like the ghosts? Or is Bermuda Triangle some happening thing? Or is there a fucking Chucky in this movie?
No, it's the magic of Atlantis is making the Bermuda Triangle.
And the Chucky doll isn't even a Chucky doll. It's a girl's spirit from the 1800s that got lost at sea?
Maybe.
Who is on a murderous rampage?
She's just bringing people to Atlantis.
I don't fucking...
The deadly way.
Then there's like this other thing where there might be paintings of monsters.
Yeah.
The sea monsters, the spirits of sea monsters might be causing
But
ships to sink.
none of that happens.
None of it.
A man gets his head chopped off by a propeller.
Yeah.
Not a sea monster or a doll.
Right.
Somebody gets hit by a lot of birds.
Fucking
It's a birdemic.
Oh man, this fucking movie.
It was wild.
Jackie,
I'm gonna give it a do. I really thought it was fun.
I
thought it was
a must-do.
confusing
Yeah.
and it was totally entertaining. I loved it.
It's shit, and it's one of the funniest Riff Tracks episodes that I can
Yeah.
recall. It is hilarious.
Absolutely.
Total do. Next up, Jackie and I watched this. This is kind of a big one by ourselves. On Netflix, 2017's Cult of Chucky. Speaking of
boy.
Chucky, starring Brad Dourif as the voice of Chucky, and starring, what's her name? His daughter, Dourif, as the main character. I think it's Nadia Dourif.
Something like that.
She's fantastic.
Is she?
She is absolutely fantastic. She's looks just like her father, so she's a weird looking lady. No offense. She's great.
That's good. 'Cause
Jennifer Tilly stops by for a little bit.
oh, why not?
Yeah.
She needed some cash to go spaz at the poker tables. Actually, she's pretty good at the poker.
It takes place in a mental hospital where Brad Dourif's daughter, Dourif,
Yeah.
she's a former victim of Chucky. She's a survivor, but she was a child when Chucky did this. Chucky murdered all her family, and now she's in the bin because she's like, no, a fucking doll came to life and killed my family. No, sweetheart, there's no such thing as living dolls. You killed your family. And now Chucky's coming to finish the job via some pretty wild magic and stuff of that nature. Jackie?
Oh, it's a do. This was funny.
Yeah?
Yeah, I liked, I don't know. I just liked how it all turned out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to ruin it for anybody who
No, I
hasn't
don't either.
seen it.
Right.
So it's kind of like all the things that I thought were fucking awesome about this one, I don't want to say because then if you haven't seen it, it won't be as like, oh man.
Right. Cult of Chucky is a total fucking do. I thought it was excellent. Not just in a horror movie sense. There is a lot, like everything story-wise and gore-wise and everything surrounding Chucky is very 1980s Chucky. It's gory, gruesome. He's stabbing people and doing all sorts of bad shit. There's some really good filmmaking in it. Like really good shots. Whoever it was, the cinematographer, and capturing what it's like to be trapped in a mental hospital, knowing that your fucking killer is in there and nobody believes you. And not to mention Nadia Dourif doing her job. I don't know if it's Nadia Dourif. She's excellent. There's Cult of Chucky is not going to appear in the SMABFAs because it is not a bad movie. It is a good time.
Yep.
Total do. Last but not least, Jackie, you watched this, and this is a very odd find. We're going to have to talk about this, and there's some things that are going to surprise you on this. A British-made 80s made-for-TV Halloween movie starring Timothy Curry and called The Worst Witch?
The Worst Witch.
The Worst Witch.
From 1986, I think.
Yeah. Why don't you break down the plot of this film, Jackie?
Well, it's a witch's academy.
Sorry, what?
It's a witch's academy.
Which is a thing?
Yeah.
From you mean you're not talking about The Worst Witch? You're talking about like the Harry Potter, right?
No, I'm talking about The Worst Witch. This is before Harry Potter. So a lot of the things as I'm watching this are very mirrored by Harry Potter later.
It's fucking Harry Potter, Jackie.
Yeah,
10 years before fucking Harry Potter.
So I really now don't think that the Harry Potter writer was that great. She ripped off the worst witch.
It's so fucking disappointing. They have a school. It looks just like Hogwarts. There's different teachers that have similar personalities. There's different schools and different thoughts, or different, like there's a Malfoy. What's that kid's name? The little blonde hair. Yeah, Malfoy. There's a Malfoy kid.
There's a mean professor. There's a nice professor.
They have Quidditch, basically.
Yep, they have broom flying practice.
It's fucking Harry Potter 10 years before Harry Potter.
Yeah, it
like
was.
No one would notice, and no one did, apparently.
Well, no, because I think that by the time that Harry Potter came out, this movie had been forgotten by people. I mean, obviously, I had never seen it before.
Right.
And, you know, there was a head wizard, which was Tim Curry.
And boy, Tim Curry.
And there, you know, was an evil plot of witches out there that were going to try to take over the school, which is exactly like Harry Potter. And, you know, they all had animals, cat animals.
Yep.
Instead of like owls or whatever they have in Harry Potter, they had cats in this one. And during your first year or something like that, they gave you a kitten. And it's just, fuck you, Harry Potter writer. You stole the worst witch.
Yes, the worst witch. Tim Curry is the Grand Wizard, and he has the most bullshit of outfits that I've ever seen in film. It's like he's wearing, I don't even know what to describe. It's like drapes.
It's a white tuxedo with a cape that has like stick extensions.
Like batons inside of it.
Yeah, that have been sewn in so that way he can hold it out and flap it around and make it like dance.
Right. But it's super gay looking.
And he has a sweet number that I hope
it's a musical too.
Yeah, that we're gonna post, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to. This song is awesome. It should be a Halloween song. It's anything can happen on Halloween. I think that should be played on every Halloween. Like fuck the Monster Mash. Anything can happen on Halloween is awesome.
Yeah, and for those of you that are younger, you're not gonna get the VHS tape reference, so you know, just roll with it.
For those of you that are younger, Grandma, hey, when you came to this podcast, did you have to go uphill both ways? And like, how deep was the snow when you got here? You kids don't even know anymore.
How many books are in Harry Potter? 7?
I think 7, yeah.
There's 7 in the series for Worst Witch too.
My God.
Didn't
imagine
end until
that.
2013.
J.K. Rowling, no.
Yeah, I think less of her now after having watched this. She just ripped it off.
Yeah, she might have. It's too bad.
Yeah, she just put a new spin on old shit, and I thought that she was, you know, that her idea had been an original one, but it's not.
Yeah.
And
Jackie, are you going to give it a do or a don't? The movie itself.
Oh God, the movie itself. I'm totally going to give it a do.
Okay.
It was funny, and I mean it's short, which is good because it's a kids movie.
Mm-hmm.
But the scenes when Tim Curry's in it are just so phenomenal that
awesome.
you're like, okay, I'll watch it just for those scenes.
Yeah.
And it's got the Facts of Life mom as the head witch, and she's great too.
I'm going to give it a do not. It's just too much of a children's movie for me. I just don't like children's movies.
Apparently they're bringing it back, The Worst Witch back as a TV series again now.
I don't see why
Yeah,
not.
it's on Netflix.
And I guess Rowling has acknowledged that it's one of the main inspirations for Harry Potter. So she's at least said that she ripped it off. So
yeah. All right. Next up is Jackie's pick for Spooktober. Jackie, what horror movie are you going to bring us?
We're doing Sleepwalkers.
Stephen King's Sleepwalkers.
Yeah.
I'm going to make a spoiler alert. We're going to have to rate this. The main question for keep an eye out for is this more boring than Saw? Because I've seen Sleepwalkers twice, and I'm pretty sure it's more boring than Saw.
I always like a good Stephen King movie.
We're turning this into Snooze-tober.
Snooze-tober. All right, kids. Well, there's your show. Enjoy your week and get to the chopper.
Visit us at www.stinkermadness.com. Follow Stinker Madness on Twitter @Stinker Madness. Please rate and review us on iTunes and Stitcher. Thank you for listening, and get to the chopper.
Hit it!
I wouldn't change places with anyone tonight. We'll carve pumpkin faces and watch the witches' flight. Every human heart will shudder. Every soul will shake with fear. Tonight, the creepiest. Tonight, the scariest. Tonight, the most wonderful night. The year anything can happen on Halloween. Your dog could turn into a cat. There may be a toad in your bass guitar, or your sister could turn into a bat. Christmas time brings the snow. Summertime brings the sun. But on Halloween, your blood begins to run. Something spooky's going down. Anything can happen on Halloween. It's better than a video. Gremlin's gonna mess up every cassette from London to Idaho. April 1st can be fun. New Year's Eve is a bore. But on Halloween, your flesh begins to crawl. Oh, I'm losing control. Anything can happen on Halloween. Your toenails grow long and your hair turns green. Your teacher could become a sardine. Your dentist could turn into a queen. Has anybody seen my tambourine? I may start playing big in the beginning. The craziest night you've ever seen. This